Hey guys, welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and actually try and do something new. I haven't really made any new videos for a while, so I figured let's give this a go. It's gonna be a video on drafting a lineup in Dota 2 as well as playing Faceless Void. Figure just combine the two. Um, if you don't want to watch the first part, just skip a couple minutes in, and you'll get straight to the actual gameplay. I'll probably overlap them a little bit just so you guys don't get bored. Yeah, but let's go ahead and start this up. So this is Captain's Mode that my friends and I did. And so this is going to be our lineup. We are the top, opponents at the bottom, so there you go. Right off the bat, you can see that I'm number one. Just because I stream while I play, even though I have a delay, I have my Twitter there, just because normally my name is ZFN line twitch.tv/XanderFever. I don't want people listening on the Captain's Mode. But let's just go ahead and go through the thought process of what we have here for our lineup and everything. Because a couple things go into playing a carry and trying to get farm and everything, specifically a good laning partner. That's massively important, because if you have a terrible laning partner and they're getting last hits and everything, it leads to a horrible situation. I haven't decided whether or not to include a game where I get completely flamed at or not and show bad laning partnership, but figure that's actually not a good idea because of the fact that that's negative and I like to be positive. But let's just go ahead and take a look at the lineup that we exactly have. We have a really solid team lineup for going for basically a tri-lane, as well as sort of pseudo jungling, pulling, that kind of stuff. We have Shadow Fiend for our mid. That's going to be a really solid person, good damage output, great ability to last hit, as well as basically hitting getting denies and everything. So that's kind of a good combination to have. So we're going to compare me and Shadow Fiend and see exactly where we're going, because we are the main carries of our team. We got Darkseer for soloing the off lane and just being able to stay alive with Surge, farm with Iron Shell, that kind of stuff. Then you have Warlock to aid me in healing and just denying, etc., etc. And Sand King can pop in and out of pulling at the jungle, as well as coming in with some burrow striking and helping us out, getting some damage done on our top lane. So things are looking to be pretty solid for our lineup. And since we're going up against a Jakiro, a Sniper, Naga Siren, Death Prophet, and Shadow Shaman, we actually have a really odd situation, because it's kind of hard to tell exactly where they're going to be going, because Sniper could mid, Death Prophet could mid. Generally, Sniper will mid. Jakiro's definitely playing support. Naga's going to be a carry, most likely with Jakiro, possibly with Shadow Shaman as well, if they want to do a tri-lane, or they can pair up Shadow Shaman, Death Prophet, or something like that. But Prophet's probably going to be soloing, because she can move faster. She's a mid hero as well, so when you put her solo, she can basically do it fairly well. So that's what we're expecting. We went through the normal bands, Batrider, Magnus, Undying, all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty normal. I don't really want to spend too much time on that stuff, but this is sort of the general thinking that we have going straight into the game with the players that we have right off the bat. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and actually get into the game. I hope I'm clicking in the right spots. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so let's do this, and we can press play, and we're going to follow me, player perspective. Good. Okay, so we have the last hits up. You don't really want to block the top. You kind of can do that, but you can see right off the bat that we do have Death Prophet soloing the top. Sand King is just going to run around and do whatever he wants. I can't remember exactly where he is right now. Okay, he's checking the room. But now you just see doing some hitting. You can see my items. I did get Coin Blade, even though Faceless Void is good to get Stout Shield on, just so it gives him a little more defense. But he's got a fair amount of armor by himself already. Plus, in the early game, it's pretty nice to get a Coin Blade if you can get away with it. Just because I've got one, Warlock to go ahead and heal me, and two, there's just nothing wrong with doing more damage. You see right off the bat, 4 last hits, and I was the first one getting last hits. It's the first wave. Generally, what you want is a good solid carry to get at least 50 last hits by the 10-minute mark. So that's going to be the main goal. But you get into a little bit of tricky situations sometimes when you have these creeps right at the tower. So that's why you see me trying to time this really, really well. And so far, I'm doing a pretty decent job. I'm not really missing too much. And it's actually looking to be fairly solid, like right there. 8 last hits for me, 3 for Snipers in second place. So things are shaping up pretty well. But you can see how I'm trying to time it. No excess hitting on the creeps. You want to only get the last hits. If you just keep auto attacking them, you push the lane. And when you push the lane, it gets them to be safer. You get to have to fight under their tower. So there we have Death Prophet just being solo and being really, really careful. Also, a little fair warning is that Ninja destroys mid lane, absolutely wrecks it. There you see me trying to get denied, it doesn't quite work out. I'm just pulling back a little bit so I can heal. I probably should have gotten those 2 last hits, but I'm going to be really, really nitpicky about how I'm doing. Right now, at 12 last hits, 2.5 minutes in, that's exactly where you want to be. So you get 25 last hits by the 5-minute mark is exactly half of 50 at the 10-minute mark. Plus, it's harder to last hit the start of the game than later on in the game when you're not doing as much damage, so there's nothing wrong with that. But let's talk a little bit about my build, just because we just saw me get those guys into the quick buy. What I like to do if things are going really well, which this game they do, is to go for just normal boots and then Battle Fury. I like to start out with a Quelling Blade, 6 Tangos, and 3 Iron Branches. That's just what I feel comfortable with getting. It gives me a nice amount of regen, and etc, etc, etc. It works out fairly well. So there you see me messing up that last hit, but that's alright. 15, still basically on pace. Could be better. Like you can see, I probably could be at 20 right now if I was actually paying attention to a couple of those last hits. But there we have Warlock healing me, and that's one of the really nice things about this laning setup is that I have someone on Skype with me because this is a party of 5. We're playing Captain's Mode, and it's really, really helpful for this to happen. And you see, I'm not going to be able to get that creep, so I just don't go for it. And you see me watching, trying to time it with the tower. The tower deals an annoying amount of damage in catapults. Catapults and towers are like the worst thing for your last hit, and besides a terrible laning partner, that gets a special mention, and I have no idea how come that didn't get the last hit. But the great thing about having Void is that you've got also the backtrack, which gives you a nice little essentially crit damage that can make last hitting even easier. So that's one of the reasons why I like this, and you see there we have the catapult screwing up the last hit. Which is inevitable to an extent. So you see me just not getting that denied, but I'm just kind of pulling back. Because honestly, I'm not paying that much attention to where they are in the other team. I know that Death Prophet can spam out the Crypt Swarm, I think it's called. So I don't want to take too much damage. Even though I have Tangos, I don't want to run out of the Tangos. Rely on Warlock giving me health. This is just to be comfortable. You see I got 2 Tangos, I've now got my Ring of Health, now I can actually be aggressive. Here's how I like to build the Battle Fury, is to go for the Ring of Health, then the Claymore, then the Broadsword, and then finish off the Perseverance / Battle Fury by getting the Void Stone. It gives you a health regen to do as well as you can, be able to be as aggressive as you can, get in the last hits in the early parts of the game, and then you've got the Broadsword and Claymore to help you deal the damage, and it is the best balance, because you don't really need mana as a Void, because you basically only use Time Block when you're trying to escape, or trying to set up a Chronosphere or anything, but you really don't have to use it all that up much, so there's no real need to get that really fast regen. Sometimes, if you do need the regen, you can go for the Ring of Health, and then either the Broadsword or the Claymore, one or the other, then finish off your Perseverance, then finish off the Battle Fury with the other sword that you just didn't buy at first. So that's something that you can definitely do, and there's the range creep screwing up that last hit. And there we go. So you can see 530, 28, once again perfectly on par. You can see right now I'm still at the top of the board. And one of the great things about how this game is going is that Death Prophet can't really be aggressive. Death Prophet's being forced to stay back, and it's just giving me a really nice ability just to constantly last hit. So things are looking to be pretty solid in this lane. It's going as well as can possibly go. I mean, if you look at the level of Death Prophet, she's level 4, so she's equal level with me, which is kind of nice that I'm still getting that last hits. Means I'm definitely doing better in the lane, plus I'm a carry, and I really want those last hits. So you can see how things are being pretty solid. And I'm trying not to be really up close, even with all this safety, by just only being forward when I either know it's safe or when a last hit is coming up. So you'll see right even there, I back out for a second, then see where Prophet is, and then push up forward. It's a small little thing, but I'm trying to get better at the game, which is one of the reasons why I'm making this video, because it's really good to analyze exactly what you're doing. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just trying to analyze and looking exactly about where the safe this game is. I think I'm going to pause at 7 or 8 minutes in and actually take a more concrete look at exactly what's happening and show what's going into this farm working out so well. Alright, so there we see this coming in, and this is just because of a why not. I mean, just get that last hit because I can. So that got me that one. I also want to talk a little bit about the laning partner that makes this work so well. So I'll get into that for a little bit. Right now, I'm also just trying to half damage those guys because one, I don't want to push our lane, and two, I kind of want to help Warlock get a little farm of his own because you don't want to be a complete other. Oh, that was a move. He's just trying to get that last hit, but it didn't really work out quite well. There's that last hit, and now I back up. Because I know Prophet is there. I quickly glanced at the minimap, and I think I didn't see some. Yeah, you can see that, yeah, Sniper's in the back. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll be a little bit careful, because it can only hurt to not be careful. So that's why I'm doing
middle
that.
Tower is under attack.
And there you see me just eating a couple of shots. I just didn't want them moving forward.
Regeneration.
And there's that other last hit. So now I'll pause at 8 minutes, I think, and look at exactly where this is going. There's another last hit, so now it's 747. So you got 1200, so I'm definitely going for
Dire's
the
bottom tower is under attack.
the Claymore first. But there's a nice healing. I still have 2 tangos. You can see I used one right there, but things are going to be pretty solid. Alright, so let's pause this now. Okay, so let's take a look at exactly what the state of this game is for me. I'm sitting here, I've got 44 last hits, 7 denies. So my farm is good. 8 minutes in and I'm 6 away from where I should be at the 10-minute mark. Great, absolutely great. You can see Death Prophet is forced to stay back because the Prophet can't really push forward all that much. But because Prophet is soloing, this is okay. Because look at her level. She's got a Soul Ring, so she can spam out Crypt Swarm to go ahead and get her last hits. She can easily use that to get enough mana to push the towers using her ultimate. She's got a little extra movement speed and dealing damage, level 6. Things are looking to be as good as she can in a bad lane. Warlock's doing a great job of just giving out the healing and everything, so the Shadow Word is what it's called, doing a really nice job. Notice he hasn't really been using Fatal Bonds or anything, because there's been no real need. He's playing support, so he's really supporting, and that's incredibly helpful. You can see also his items. He's just bought his boots, and he got his Tango and his Sage Master, and get a little bit more regen on both sides. The one thing we can critique about Warlock is that he probably should have gotten the boots at the side shop, because you can buy boots at the side shop. You can see that they're just right there. So, no one's Roshaning or anything. And the bottom lane, we have Doom, the Sand King. He's went down bottom to support Draking, because Draking, as you can see, is a little bit under where he could be, only 8 last hits, but he hasn't died. And that's the #1 thing to do when you are in the hard lane, especially against a tri-lane from these guys, where we have Jakiro, we have Shadow Shaman, and we have Naga. Naga's level 5, that's kind of dangerous, but we can see that Draken's not too far from it. He's just been forced back, and that's honestly not a horrible thing, because against one person against 3 people, to be alive at all and not dying is the most important thing. And then we just have Shadow Fiend just destroying mid. 3 deaths, 12 last hits versus 3 kills and 38 last hits, 26 denies. He's doing a beautiful job. So nothing wrong there. So let's take a look at the items that we're going for and where we are for everything. So right now, 8 minutes in, I've got the Quelling Blade, a single tango still left, the Ring of Health, 1,286 gold. I'll be buying the Broadsword first because there's no need to really push myself to get that, the Claymore, no, I got that backwards. The Claymore is 1,200, the Broadsword is 1,400. The Broadsword gives you 21 damage, and the Claymore gives you 18 damage. So it's only a 3 damage difference, but the 200 gold is a big thing, because you don't want to lose gold for dying, etc., etc. And right now, since there's been no aggression up top, I've been contentedly just farming, not worrying about kills. I'm not even holding a TP scroll, which is arguably something you might want to do if you're being pressured a lot. You can just sell off one of your Iron Branches, get a Tango, because what you can easily do to escape, very similar to Anti-Mage, Queen of Pain, or anybody with the Blink Dagger, is just use Time Walk, go into the trees, and TP out. There's not really much of anything that Death Prophet can do except Crypt Swarm you, but by the time that she does that, you'll be able to TP out, and odds are that one Crypt Swarm is not going to kill you. Odds are. Theoretically it could, but if you can time walk out fast enough and get lucky with your backtracks, you're okay. Because this is actually another really important thing to note, is that I have not been harassed at all. I have not needed to put more in backtrack. I just went 1-1-1 and then put everything in time lock, because it gives you 20% chance of giving an additional 60 damage, which is really helpful for last hitting. So he's already easy to last hit. I got the Quelling Blade on top of all that, so things are looking solid. The Quelling Blade is also useful for escaping, because you can go ahead and just juke around in here, throw down some trees, and then maybe TP out if you really need to, but as you can see, these things are looking to be pretty solid all around, and you can also see that Warlock hasn't really lost out on any experience, so things are looking solid all around. Maybe we could pull more or something, but this base is pretty nicely stacked. I mean, you can see that there's 2 big wildkins. I don't know why they're being labeled as giant wolves, but so this has been stacked a couple times, which is pretty nice. Yeah, and there's Ogre Magi. Okay, but looks like there's 3 big guys, so it's been stacked at least 3 times. And Warlock's been able to farm some of those guys, even though he only has 1 last hit. He's just being a support, 6 denies, everything's looking solid. So I think we've talked this part pretty efficiently. We could say more about the courier usage, but it's all for Shadow Fiend. He's mid, he can use it, plus I've got the side shop. So let's go ahead and continue this. Alright. I'll probably stop whenever I get to Battle Fury, because I'm trying to focus more on the farm aspect of all this. Alright. So there we go, last hits are continuing. 46 last hits, 47 last hits, so I'm gonna easily get the 50 mark.
Radiant's bottom tower is
There's
under
gonna be
attack.
no difficulty with that. Couple more of those guys. Looks like Jakira's died to the Sand King and Draken, so that's pretty good. And now we can see that that's me sending over the broadsword. And once again, last hitting, just at 49 at 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Well, a little less than that, but get the point. And I just sold at the Iron Brands just so that I'd be able to, get the broadsword to be ASAP. So at 8 minutes and 45 seconds or so, I hit my 50, which is great. You can say everything beyond here is gravy, but to be honest, you really want all the farm you can get. And now it's going to be time to get that, and with the broadsword in play, just double check that. Oh, the Claymore does 21. No, that's what I said. God, I'm mixing all that up. But anyway, the whole point stands, I got the 1400 one first. So things will be pretty solid in terms of the farm. There's me getting more last hitting. And this is kind of boring to watch. This is one of those skills you really need to work on, as it's really pivotal if you're going to play Dotas to practice this kind of stuff. And this is your ideal situation for farming.
Missing bottom!
Okay, so I'm trying to think about other stuff that can happen. Now, let's talk about the fact that I have level 6 and Chrono right now. The thing is, Void can't really do all that much with Chrono at the very start of the game.
Middle tower is under attack.
It's nice and all. It's nice to have Chrono, but it's more of an... I use it more of an as escape early on than really a way to kill. Because you can't really kill with it because you just don't have the attack speed. You need to get your power treads up, and you need to get your Mask of Madness up. And I build those after the Battle Fury because the carry #1 priority is farm. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to build myself to farm because I know that's when I'm useful. So if I can maximize my farm early game, I'm good. So let's take a look. It's 10 minutes, 17 seconds in. I have 61 last hits, 62 last hits. So things are looking nice. I'm about to have 1200. I'm about to be able to get my now broadsword, because the broadsword is 1200. Sweet, I'm right. And it's looking like I should be able to get a full-on Battle Fury in the next couple of minutes, farm comfortably. Yeah, so it's looking to be solid. There are more or less hitting going on. And things are looking to be really comfortable. And I'm ignoring the fact that Sniper is DC from where he does come back, but the whole point isn't how the mid lane is going. The whole point for here is farming, Void, carry, that good stuff. And you can see how the solo mid person's got 59 last hits, which is really nice, but the biggest thing that's impressive there is the 31 denies. Shadow Fiend has had just incredibly good control at the, that was a frustrating last hit miss. That was me getting impatient. But you can see the 31 denies is a real indicator, besides the fact that he's killed Sniper
Radiant's
4
middle
times.
tower is under attack.
And there we have Sankey coming up to support. This is the pseudo Tryline that I was trying to reference at the start. Because he's coming in. He spent more time on bottomless because of why not. But you can see right now, I'm happily losing my last Tango. This is one of the great things about this lane going so well, is that I literally was able to successfully save the Tangos to this point. And that's not typical. This game is going really well. And that's why I want to show it to you. This is the ideal scenario farming. Look at that. Before, like 30 seconds ago, I was at a couple hundred health and that was it. And now I'm back up to I was max, and now I'm up to over 700. And there we have, Shadow Fiend just overtook me in last hitting. and he just killed another person and another person. He destroyed this game, so just shout out to Ninja, I guess. I don't think he'll ever watch this, but why not? He's a cool guy.
Radiant's
All these guys are
bottom
my
tower
friends.
is under attack.
So take a look at my gold. We're 12 minutes in, and I've got over 600 gold, and the only thing I'm missing right now is the Void Stone to finish off my Battle Fury. So you'll notice I'm going to be able to send the courier. I don't know how it got up there, but I'm going to send the courier to the secret shop, because by the time he gets there, I should have about enough to get the Battle Fury purchased.
Radiant's
So you can
bottom
see it's just
tower
continuing,
has
and
fallen.
there it is, and it helps that Shadow Fiend kill the tower, give me another 200 gold, and that's going to be my Battle Fury. So you can see I farmed my Battle Fury before the 13-minute mark, which is pretty much ideal. Now the next step is going to be getting Power Treads. Because of their attack speed addition with the Gloves of Haste, they are the next thing you should be getting off of Void, because my farming is fine. I don't need to rush Lifesteal to make sure I can heal, etc, etc, etc. So this is my Battle Fury at 13 minutes, and next step is going to be Power Treads, and then Mask of Madness. Once I have that, I'll be able to have much higher attack, because right now I'm built purely for last hitting. You can see how slowly I'm attacking. The damage output is nice, and that's just me being safe. That time walk is just me simply being safe. Also avoid any hits from the tower. So what you were seeing over there, I think, was me dragging the Power Treads to my quick buy, because I really like the quick buy. I use it all the time. But also, now that I have Battle Fury, and there was this second where you can see where my creep wave is not even at the tower yet, I'm just going to go ahead and kill this creep camp so I don't have any wasted time. Just maximizing its efficientness is one of the really key things. And you see that now the creep waves merge, and guess what? I just got 2 big creeps. So I'm going to push forward, and I don't think I miss any. I think one melee creep might have died, but check out the last hitting. I still get it, except for that one because I moved away. And there's a Gloves of Haste, because the attack speed is the #1 priority that I want there. And now I'm going to let Zoika get some farm, the Warlock, just because of the fact that I've been taking it for this long time, and now I'm in a good position, and I don't want my supports to get under-farmed, because that can only hurt.
Radiant's courier has been slain.
So with that in mind, I'm letting him get some last hits. I'm letting him go in the lane. I can let him take a wave or whatever, just because it's not the biggest deal for him, but it's helpful.
Forget it.
So I'm almost up to my Power Treads. And they'll go Power Treads and then Mask of Madness, but this game, I think, has got its value. I'm just going to quickly skip through so you can see the items. So, yeah, you can see it's not the longest game ever. Here we have me going for Mask of Madness after I got it after Power Treads. I think now I'm just going for Chrono, for the Chrono with the Aghanim Scepter. Yeah, you can see I'm getting the Aghanims and farming them nicely. And here we have me, 5 kills. Not being aggressive, focusing less on farm. 28 minutes, 187 last hits. That's fine. And there was going to see me destroying now. Yeah, death over there. And there's
I foresaw your death.
So yeah, I think that's pretty solid. So just to quickly recap, it was just simply being aware of what your laning situation is and who you're laning with, who you're laning against, and everything. So that's why I was able to comfortably get the Quelling Blade first, just to help last hitting be better. I was able to really happily just last hit away. I got 60 something or whatever at 10 minutes, so it's looking pretty solid. Going for the Reek of Health to make sure you're going to be more aggressive and safer to last hit when I'm moving forward. Then it was the, let's make sure I get this right. Then it was the Claymore, then Broadsword, and then Voidstone to finish off the Perseverance / Battle Fury. Get that to me by the Courier. I only really need to focus on getting the first sword to me to help with the last hitting, and then it's build based on what you're comfortable with. If you're doing fine and are dandy and all that stuff, you might as well just go for the Power Treads, and then the Mask of Madness. You can switch it back and forth depending on your preference. The lifesteal can only help you last hit, can help you go in the jungle a little bit if you're feeling pressured. So some situations you may want to go for the Mask of Madness before the Power Treads, but it's a nice little combo to have. And then after that, it's pretty much your choice. You've got Battle Fury, you've got Mask of Madness, and you've got Power Treads. And in this situation, I just went Aghanims because why not? I mean, it's a really solid thing. It makes the Chronosphere even stronger, and it's it's a great way to help you facilitate getting solo kills or double kills by yourself. It also is, it sucks to have to use it as an escape mechanism, but it can be really, really solid when Tomahawk just isn't enough, or they have a lot of chain stuns, because you can use it similar to Nature's Prophet trees, Sprout, to just slog off an area and walk away. It can save your life, so don't, I don't want to say don't hesitate, but realize that sometimes it's necessary to use a chrono to get away. And be careful during team fights is just another note, because you're a melee person and you rely on getting hits and you're not exactly the strongest person ever. It can sometimes be tricky just to stay alive, so be careful when you go in and how you go in. Using Tomahawk to engage is only safe if you can chrono right afterwards, or they're on low health, or a couple other small factors, but be careful on that. And keep in mind also, sometimes you may want to go for some kind of item that may help you not get stunned. So Lincoln Sphere or some kind of hood, that kind of stuff, to make sure that you cannot just die to chain spells and everything. Would be really, really nice. I mean, the most frustrating thing is to chrono and then have Lion or Lena just use their ult on you and you die. So some situations that's actually a good idea, even though it's not the best overall. It's something to consider. But I think that's pretty comprehensive for last hitting in the good situation. You can probably do more about last hitting in the bad situation. Sometimes really just get Stout Shield at the start instead of Quelling Blade, or if you random or something, get them both. There's nothing wrong with that. Make sure you can lane with someone good, because if you lane with someone bad, you're going to probably want to go into the jungle faster, just to make sure you can get that farm that you really, really want. Let's see. I wonder if I'm missing anything else. I would pretty much say always get power treads, because you want that Glove of Haste built in. Sometimes I've seen some voids, and I'm actually going to experiment with this myself, but something you can also do is go for a Hand of Midas first, and then go for a Maelstrom or something to give you some kind of splash damage and give you a lot more farm, because then you can get an Aghanims fairly quickly, and you can get your Mask of Madness after that. It still gives you AoE. It's not Battle Fury, but it's still effective. And the gold that you get can completely, can really, really help you get other items really quickly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should cover. I don't know, I think that's pretty solid to start out with. So there you go. That's a little bit on making sure that you can, A, get a good solid line to start with, B, good people to play with, and C, farm up a void. Or a lot of this stuff is also true for, I would say a lot of stuff is also true for Animage as well. He's a little harder to last hit with, and he's someone you really should go for the Stout Shield first, which is because he's just not, he's not as tanky as Void. He doesn't have that naturally better armor that Void's got. So keep that in mind. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned. Thanks for watching.